You're watching MaxPreps SoCal.
CIF champions crowned last week, and now it's on to the state playoffs. Welcome into MaxPreps SoCal. Come on in. Chris Hayre here, joined by former LA Charger and Riverview, Florida High alum Jahleel Addae. And listen, Jahleel, we feasted last weekend. We had some pretty good football, too.
Thanksgiving and football, that's what the holidays are about. And I know these coaches are really thankful for these young ballers. The lights are bright, but these guys shined even brighter.
We got ballers all around Southern California. Let's get right to these rankings in the state of California. The top five remain the same, led by number 1 Mater Dei, Clovis North, the highest ranked team from Northern California at 6th. San Diego's Lincoln also jumped back into the top 10 at number 9. Mater Dei also moved up to 3rd in the national top 25. That's because of the big rematch with St. John Bosco. It turned into a big blowout last Friday at the Coliseum. The Mater Dei defense set the tone early. Junior linebacker Abdul Sanders picked off Caleb Sanchez, returned it for 6 in the first quarter. Alabama commit Xavier Brown also had a pick 6 as the Monarchs avenged their regular season loss to Bosco with a 35-7 resounding win. It's Mater Dei's 4th CIF Division I title since 2016 and the first under first-year head coach Frank McManus.
It's been a great ride so far. Like I said, all the hard work's now starting to be worth. It's worth it, obviously, and the kids are now starting to see the fruits of their labor start to come to be.
I love these guys, man. Even though we go through a lot every day, working out all this other stuff, I feel like we just came and became a brotherhood.
You know, we lost it last year. We lost it earlier this year. You know, it's just an amazing feeling. I can't really describe it. You know, we just kept working, kept our heads down, striving, to be our best selves, and came out with that win.
So, Jahleel, Mater Dei winning wasn't surprising, but the manner in which they did it was. How did they flip the script from that first matchup?
First of all, I think Mater Dei was just tired of hearing me talk about them losing, right? I picked them 2 weeks in a row to lose, and they said, you know what, we're tired of hearing those guys on Max Prep talk. But look, they won the turnover margin. 2 pick 6s. Abdul Sanders, Xavier Brown, Alabama commit. When you play stifling defense like they played and they took the ball away at a high rate, it's hard to beat a team like that. You know,
Coach McManus also mentioned at the luncheon that the coaches had to get involved too and get more in sync too, because that first matchup, listen, there's a lot of guys on that coaching staff that are in new positions too. So it seemed like they got that figured out. You're not picking against them 3 weeks in a row, no?
Absolutely not. These guys are baller. They're tired of hearing me pick against them, and they're continuing to ball. When you watch them, you just say that these guys came out and they were tenacious. They were after it. They attacked the ball. They had a game plan. The coaches did a really good job of getting their ball players the ball, and guess what? The results were there. They got the W, and they got it in a really good fashion.
Yeah, so bye this week. We'll have much more on Mater Dei next week. Let's flip it now to Mission Viejo. They won another lopsided matchup in the Division II championship against Servite. The Diablos were chasing their first CIF Southern Section title under head coach Chad Johnson. Quarterback Luke Fahey threw 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to sophomore wide receiver Vance Spafford, while the defense shut down the Friars' offensive attack in a 34-15 win. The Diablos were even able to empty the playbook. A fake field goal late in the first half to give themselves a 20-0 lead at the break. Mission Viejo's first CIF championship since 2015. They host El Cajon's Granite Hills on Friday. And joining us now is Diablos head coach Chad Johnson. And Coach, let's just start with this. How would you describe that victory against Servite?
Oh, it was amazing, man. You know, obviously stepping in for the legendary coach Bob Johnson is big shoes to fill, lots of pressure. And for us to get our first CIF championship under our belt and kind of keep the program where he left it to us, it felt really good. Our players are very excited. You know, we're a very young team this year. We graduated a lot of great players in the last season. So the young players grew up over the year. We had some ups and downs during the season, but we're definitely all grown up now, very mature and firing on all cylinders.
Coach Chad Johnson, the real Chad Johnson. I see you, Coach. Congratulations. These 2 respective programs have 2 young quarterbacks, Luke Fahey and Zachary Benitez. What can you speak about their growth over the year as they take on each other in this championship game? Let's start with your guy first.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Luke's a special quarterback, extremely smart. Wise beyond his years, a very strong arm, also has the ability to move around, dual threat. He made some big plays with his feet in the Marietta Valley game, which was the semifinal. And he does everything. I mean, there's nothing you can't call. There's nothing you can't run, whether it's quarterback run game and zone read or throwing big posts, throwing underneath. He can do it all, man. He's a special player. And for that Granite Hills quarterback, you know, he's a freshman, does a great job managing their offense. They go really, really fast. Their tempo is incredibly fast. And he does a phenomenal job with that and getting everything in the right positions, getting lined up, running the ball, and distributing the ball to the athletes as the offense calls for, and they're a very potent offense.
Coach, as you look at these highlights, I was actually on hand for this game against Carlsbad and their 5-star studded quarterback, Julian Sayin. And Granite did a good job of their rushing attack. They have a big, powerful offensive lineman. They have 2 running backs who can really run the ball down your throat if you're not gap sound. How do you guys prepare for a running game like this?
Yeah, you know, I think the best way you prepare for it is to play great competition in the regular season. So, you know, we went back to Washington, D.C. and played St. John's, who had 2 high Division I running backs, and we had to tackle them for 4 quarters. And you know, we learned a lot from that game. We played, you know, Long Beach Poly, Los Al, a bunch of great teams. So I think we're really well prepared to see the type of caliber of competition we're going to play and the size and the physicality that Granite Hills has in their offensive line, as you mentioned. Definitely 2 great backs, and that's the challenge is stopping the run game without letting the pass game, you know, burn us, you know, and being compromised in our coverages.
Coach, we were talking about how loaded that Division II bracket was. What did you learn about your team going through that gauntlet and eventually winning the championship?
Our young players have stepped up huge all year long, especially in the CIF run, and I expect them to continue to do so, and we'll go as far as they take us. They've been great all year, and I'm really excited to see what they do on Friday night.
Coach, congratulations, and we're pulling for you, man, here on MaxPreps SoCal. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good luck, Coach.
All right, now to one of the best stories from the Southern section, Division VI champs Simi Valley. It was the first CIF football title in school history, and it didn't come easy for the Pioneers and head coach Jim Benkert. They had to overcome a 21-0 deficit, eventually forcing overtime, tied at 38, and after a 20-minute delay when the lights went out, junior Bryce Hawkins scored the game-winning touchdown, giving Simi Valley the 44-38 win.
It's a great feat for our school. I mean, we haven't won a CIF championship in the 99 years of playing football here in Simi Valley High School, so I'm just so proud of these guys.
Everything went into this game and mean a lot to all of us, especially never winning a CIF. So, I mean, it's a big deal for all of us. So, words I can't explain how much it meant to me.
All right, next up, Simi Valley will play Visalia Central Valley Christian, but how special for the school and Coach Benkert, Jahleel?
It's really special when you look at it and how they did it in what fashion. Down 21-0, but it's a really good job by the program. It just shows what the coach has done over there. It shows the belief he has in his players. It shows that the grit that they have, and they got it done.
Man, to be down, they had to have a 20-minute power outage, and to be resilient enough to get the win. Have you ever had a power outage in your illustrious NFL career, Jahleel?
Never had a power outage, but you got to say, hey, look, they had 20 minutes to say, look, what are we doing wrong? It's almost like an extra halftime, and they put it to use, and it worked for the better for them.
Yeah, there we go. Looks like there was a halftime show, right? Just picture like a Beyonce halftime show in New Orleans. All right, coming up, we're going to look back on Birmingham's big win over Garfield to claim a 4th straight city section open division title. Plus, we're going to catch up with Ramona and Torrance High Schools as they get set to face off in our MaxPreps SoCal Game of the Week.
Hi, my name is Ken Mashinsky, head football coach at Ramona High School in Riverside, California, and you're watching MaxPreps SoCal.
Let's talk some city section now. The Banning Pilots beat the Crenshaw Cougars 35-38 last Friday night to win the Division I championship. Quarterback Robert Guerrero broke a 28-all tie on a 2-yard touchdown run with 2 minutes left in the game, and senior defensive back Andrew DeVoe sealed the win with an INT in the end zone. The Pilots move on to host La Jolla Country Day in the Division 5A region.
It feels great. First championship in 7 years. We came here in 2009. We lost the Birmingham in the championship. We're back in it, and I finally got one. So I'm very proud of my players. I'm proud of my fans. I'm proud of my community. We love it. Welcome back, Banning football. Put your balls up!
Let's go. In the City Section Open Division, Birmingham Charter claimed the title for a 4th straight season. They beat Garfield 49-7. The Patriots haven't lost to a City Section team since 2017 and won their 3 playoff games by an average of 36 points per game. Washington commit Peyton Waters had 8 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. The Patriots travel to San Diego to face Del Norte High School in the Division III AA Regional.
I think we had so many guys back that were returning. They felt this was a goal. That's why we're on the state playoffs, and that's what they've been looking forward really the whole year.
We were excited, obviously, but we're not finished yet. We're trying to get that state ring. I mean, that's been our plan since summer, since spring before, so that's where we're at.
Starting out the season, senior season, our goal is always get a championship. Coming out here, basically the same team as last year, and all the guys are motivated.
So how about this? Coach Rose also led the Birmingham girls flag football team to the inaugural City Section Open Division title. He can do it all, Jahleel.
He's double dipping. He's pulling double standards right now. What he's doing is really amazing when you look at his program, how dominant they've been over the years, and then you hear the guys talk, and they're not complacent. They want a championship. That's their goal, and they're going to continue to press forward with it. What he did with the girls flag football, that's really awesome. That flag football sport is growing, as we know. It's coming to the Olympics soon. Yeah. To see the girls win it, his daughter, coaching his daughter's team, congrats, Coach.
Congrats, Coach. All right, now to our MaxPreps SoCal game of the week, Ramona versus Torrance in the Division V AA, one of 2 South Regional finals to feature a matchup of Southern Section teams. Now, Ramona beat Riverside Poly 38-17 to win the Division 11 title in the Southern Section, while Torrance took care of West Covina 23-7 in the Division 10 championship game. These 2 schools set to face off on Friday at 7:30.
We worked our tails off every game. You know, we talked about playing 14 weeks, you know, in the beginning of the season, and we accomplished that goal. You know, my biggest question on Monday meeting was, are you guys hungry for more? And our guys, you know, validated for that for me. So we're excited to continue to work hard and get ready for this state playoff.
We face a very good Torrance team. They have some good players. They are disciplined and they hit very hard. So we need to match that intensity, match that tempo. It's going to be a little bit of a violent crowd. You know, 2-hour drive to Torrance, but our kids are ready. They're really excited, and we're ready for Friday night.
All right, Jahleel, let's talk about this game of the week. Give me some keys for each team, starting with Ramona.
When I look at Ramona, I think of Sincere Tolbert, the running back, do it all. As he goes, the team goes. He has 20 total touchdowns, 117 yards on the ground he's averaging. If they want a chance to win this game, they have to feed him early, they have to feed him often.
All right, how about Torrance, though? Stout defense.
Stout defense, when you look at them, I just talked about Sincere Tolbert. If they want to have a chance to win this game, they have to stop him. They just played West Covina last week, and they stopped the wing T offense. Chris, wing T offense, they shut down. I ran a wing T offense in high school, and when you run the wing T offense, you run the ball about 99% of the time. So for them to win this game, they have to play stingy defense.
And they did last week. We'll see what happens this week. Coming up, National Football Editor Zack Poff going to join us to give his thoughts on modern day getting that revenge and look ahead to some good games this week. Plus, Whittier's Lucerna won the Division IV title, and now they're set to face another Southern Section team, Orange Vista, in the regional playoffs.
Hi, I'm Andy George, head coach of Lucerna football, and you're watching MaxPreps SoCal.
Welcome back, everybody. It was a close battle in the Division III championship between St. Bonaventure and Warden. Bears quarterback Madden Ayamaliava connected with Jordan Ross on an electric 99-yard touchdown, ties the game at 21 in the 4th quarter. Ross, his 27th receiving touchdown of the season. The Sarahs, though, answered later in the quarter when George Mann hit a go-ahead 19-yard field goal with less than a minute to go. The defense picked off one final Hail Mary attempt to seal St. Bonnie's 11th CIF title. But first since 2008, they play San Diego St. Augustine on Saturday.
I bleed green and gold. When I took this job, I said I wanted to help return this program to glory and our kids to experience what I had when I was in high school. And hey, we've returned to glory, and we've got a special group of football players that I love, and I'm happy to get another week with them.
Right there.
There we go.
In the Division IV championship game, Whittier's Lucerna High School made easy work of Corona Del Mar in a 49-29 win last Friday night. senior running back Owen Long ran for $174 and 4 touchdowns to lead the Lancers to their 3rd CIF crown in school history. Lacerda has won 9 in a row and has scored at least 42 points in each of those games. We caught up with head coach Andy George at practice this week as the Lancers get ready to face another offensive juggernaut on Friday in Orange Vista.
They're explosive on offense. They got a lot of team speed. They play hard. It's two really good football teams playing against one another, and I expect a great game. I think that we're just going to continue to play well together. Just fly to the football, and this is a team of destiny, and we want to keep it going.
All right, joining the show now, MaxPreps national football editor Zack Poff. And hey, we'll start with this Lacerda-Orange Vista matchup. Zack, where are you going to place the over/under in points in this one?
Hey, I'll tell you what, man, it's going to be a lot more than the Monday night game we just saw between the Bears and the Vikings. So
yeah, right.
I would say we'll go with like 65.5 because both these offenses are very explosive. And, you touched on Owen Long, a 2024 Idaho commit. He went for nearly 204 touchdowns in their win over Corona Del Mar to win the D4 championship. And then you look at Orange Vista, I got to give a shout out to these guys. They're from Paris, man. I grew up in Menifee, so that's not too far down from where I grew up from. And this team's been putting a lot of points on the board every night. They got a big-time running back, too, inside your games, a 2024 Arizona commit. This dude went into halftime last week with over 203 tutties, so he ended with 288 and 4 touchdowns. So I feel like whatever running back has a better game is going to walk out with the SoCal Regional Championship in this one.
I agree with you. It won't be Bears-Vikings on Monday night, that's for sure. All right, great matchup between Granite Hills and Mission Viejo. Zach, we just talked to Coach Johnson. He's got his guys ready to go.
Yeah, man. The thing I respect with Mission Viejo so much is they played a very tough schedule, and you're seeing that play out very well for them in the CIF Southern Section D2 bracket. That's one of the main reasons why they won this section championship, the first since 2015. The harder teams you play throughout the season, the better you're going to be when it's playoff football time. They dominated Servite. That game was over by halftime. But hey, I tell you what, man, Granite Hills, this is a very confident bunch right now. They're 12-0. And you look at that CIF San Diego Section Open Division playoff bracket, they took down 5-star Alabama commit Julian Sane in the semifinals. And then they went and beat Achilles Smith Jr., a 4-star 2025 Oregon commit in the championship game. So this team's firing on all cylinders. And you guys talked about the freshman quarterback, Zachary Benitez. He's got to be pretty confident after taking down a 5-star and a 4-star heading into this one against a red-hot Mission Viejo team. But I do think Mission Viejo is going to find a way to win, and I expect De La Salle to win the NorCal bracket and set up a big-time matchup between those two powerhouse programs.
All right, Zach, what did you think about this rematch between Modern Day and Bosco? We talked about it almost every single week on this show. And why was Sarah picked over Clovis North for the Open Division Championship?
Yeah, I mean, you just look at the resume that CIF San Mateo has put together. They have wins over De La Salle and Folsom. Those are two of the marquee programs in Northern California. I just look at their schedule, and I feel like they played tougher teams and dominated a little more than Clovis North did. I feel like the CIF got this one right. We have CIF San Mateo ranked at number 20 in the MaxPreps top 25. And then you look at Clovis North, that team's ranked in the kind of mid-50s area. But hey, they're going to have their hands full when they play Modern Day in a couple weeks. What an impressive performance from the Modern Day Monarchs. The defense dominated. 4-star junior linebacker Abdul Sanders really set the tone with that 52-yard pick six. And you saw Xavier Brown. He's going to Alabama for a reason. He iced the game with that 12-yard pick six. Elijah Brown made throws when he needed to. And, man, Modern Day is a team I do not want to play right now. But I do think that CIF San Mateo is going to give them a very, not competitive game, but they'll have a better showing than they've had in the last two CIF Open Division State Championships when they lost to Bosco and Modern Day.
Zach, you were the man. Until next week, my friend.
Hey, I tell you what, man, Jahleel, stop picking against Modern Day because they're using that for bulletin board material.
I've learned my lesson.
He said he's learned his lesson. All right, still to come, we'll give a shout-out to the California School for the Deaf in Riverside after they won another 8-man CIF title.
You're watching MaxPreps SoCal.
So here's a look at the games we'll be at this Friday. Riverside's Ramona against Torrance, with the winning team set to join Jim Hill on Sports Central Saturday. Also, Wasco against Cerritos and Madera's Matilda Torres against Yarupa Hills and Fontana. Speaking of the Spartans, they went from 4-6 to Division 8 champs. Charter Oak, who was 2-8 themselves entering the playoffs, saw their magical run end Friday in a 21-14 loss. The Chargers fought their way back from a 21-0 hold to have a chance to tie the game late in the fourth, but junior defensive back Michael Ephraim secured the win for Yarupa Hills, intercepting Charter Oak's Corn Berry in the end zone. It's the school's second Southern Section championship. They host Torres High on Friday. You know, we followed Charter Oak's story this entire playoff run, but both were really Cinderellas.
Both were Cinderella stories. I mean, Charter Oak came from 2-8 and came all the way back to almost having a successful story. Obviously, they fell short, but shout out to them and their coaching staff. And you just see it every week, man. This is high school football. This is why you watch it. It's exciting. You never know what's going to happen. You never know the outcome. And there we have it. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, congrats to all those guys. All right, one more championship team to talk about. Riverside's California School for the Deaf. They beat Faith Baptist 54-42 to win back-to-back titles in 8-man football. And how about this stat you got to know? They averaged 67 points a game in the playoffs, Jahleel.
Ooh, they balling, they're balling, they're balling. We sat next to them at the luncheon.
Yes.
And we met those guys, and they were outstanding gentlemen. To see them go out there and put on the show in the fashion that they did, that is awesome to see, man.
What do you call 67 points a game? Greatest show on turf, Air Coryell, what?
No, that's greatest show on earth. We see you, baby. Shout out to y'all. Keep balling.
Awesome, guys. That does it for us on MaxPreps SoCal. Hey, we'll see you next Wednesday, same time.